Hello! Today I'm here with the beloved Cleavers. So crazy that this herb has so many names, all starting with sticky, sticky willy, sticky jack, sticky bud, sticky willow, like sticky everything. Cleavers comes from the Rubiaceae family, which also has coffee, as we all know, as a member. It's very well known with its fruits being roasted as an alternative to coffee, as it also has caffeine inside in a much lower dose. So at the end of the summer, please try to do coffee with the seeds of this beautiful plant. That's one thing. Secondly, cleavers, as the name suggests, it comes from this plant's ability to cleave, to clinch. Name of the genus is Gallium aparine. Gallium has around like 650 species. You may see many different varieties of this plant, but there are very clear ways of identification. Today I'm focusing on cleavers. Bedstraw, the name is used also for another species, Gallium verum. It has yellow flowers, which flowers from May to August. This one flowers from March to June with white flowers. They have quite common specialties. Let me start with the naming of the Latin name. The species name Aparine comes from Theophrastatus. He's from the Lesbos island of Greece, a colleague of Aristotle. They both work together on nature. He's a great naturalist and a philosopher. Actually, he had like 10 books about nature, but the 9th book was all about the medicinal herbs. That's why people call him the father of botany. And in that book, he calls this apairo, which means to lift, to seize. That is during around like 4th century before Common Era. And then comes Dioscorides from southern Anatolia, again an ancient Greek physician, very well known with his book Materia Medica, Medical Materials of Nature. He gives the name for the genus, which is Gallium, and it comes from the word gala in Greek, meaning milk, galaxy, Milky Way. So that's something not to forget. Why is he calling this genus Gallium? Especially the yellow flowered one, the Gallium verum, was used to curdle the milk, which gives a yellow color to the cheese. And exactly by that time, he also adds up saying the shepherds by then were using the stems of this plant to form a sieve to strain the milk. He also says people used to use the dry stems to fill in the mattresses, hence the name comes bedstraw. I love all these stories. So this is the story of the name of this plant. This one here, it's gonna flower from March to June with white flowers, and it also has a square stem. That's an important detail. Leaves whirling around it. The biggest difference from the all other species is that it is going on one line, doesn't have any other branches going on. Secondly, the leaves of cleavers gets bigger towards the end with a little tip at the end. It has these very famous fibrous hairs with a hook at the end, which makes it cling on your cloth. And when it flowers, you'll also see also the fruit has these hairs, and they also stick to the fur of the animals, to our clothes. So don't get upset, just collect them when they're ripe enough and then make coffee out of them. The verum version, the one that actually does the curdling of milk, flowers after May throughout the summer. The odoratum one that has the most smell. This one also has that beautiful smell coming from the coumarin, the compound, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But the odoratum, as the species name suggests, odor, is this vanilla smell, is so unique. It's the most similar one to this. But it's, as I said, the leaves get bigger in the middle and then gets thinner at the end, and it flowers white, but in more like branches, and flowers during summer. So it's really easy to identify which one is which. one thing I didn't tell you, we're right by a hedgerow right now. It's a separation of two lands. She really loves to find her space in the hedgerows, in a moist environment, covering like a mat with all the other plants. As you can see, there are few other plants here, especially nettles, the Membraceae species, fumery, and bugloss. There are so many other plants around us, and they all get together and create this mat on the land. So when we are collecting, let's be careful that we are only collecting this one and not any other plants are stuck to this, and we make sure that we are not consuming anything toxic. Let's talk about the medicinal properties of this beautiful plant. Just like Gallium verum species, they both have affinity for urinary tracts. So anything that is painful in urinary tracts, cystitis, enuresis, inflamed prostate, like stones, sand in kidneys, this is a great herb to get as a supportive ally. And when you think about it, any plant that supports to dissolve the stones in kidney, let's say, has also an ability to support the work around calcification, concretion, or fibrosis. Anything that needs to get dissolved in the body, if you have that, then Cleavers are here to support you, because it has this alterative effect, meaning like it moves the blood, it moves the stagnation, thanks to this compound called coumarin, which also gives this beautiful smell, and great ally for lymphatic system. Very different than calendula though. Calendula is more warming, this is more cooling. So whenever you have a problem like under your ears, tonsillitis, adenoid troubles, you can totally use this as a tea or as a juice. The juice is more potent, I'm gonna tell you how to use them, but as this herb is an alterative, diaphoretic, and lymphatic, these three specialties of this plant makes it a great herb to support, like in a holistic approach to cancer. So it's a very good ally for people who are being treated for cancer. Basically moves the blood and helps the waste get out of the system. How can we use the plants? One option is a tea. You can pick them up, preferably close to full moon, when all the energy is up in the body of the plant, going all the way up. Like when you pick them up, they wilt quite quickly. You dry them in a shadowy place. Once it's totally dry, you can use like 1 tablespoon of the dry plant material in 1 cup of hot water 3 times a day. That's a great cure. But the most potent one, especially for cancer patients or anyone that really needs that cleaning in the body, that feels that stagnation in the body, you can just pick them up fresh and then juice them, but not in those heat creating juicers. There is a name for that, like cold pressed juice machines, so that you can benefit from all the elements of this plant, constituents and nutritions and everything. Because it's so potent, you just have like 15 ml, like around like 1 tablespoon of the juice 3 times a day. But the fact that the juice ferments very quickly, we prefer to put them in ice cubes, and it's a perfect dosage, an ice cube, and it can go for a long time like that. So whenever you want to drink it, you just take it out of the ice cube, put it in a glass, melt it, done. Don't forget, as it moves the blood, and it also coumarin also thins the blood. So if you are getting any blood thinning medication, please don't use it, or talk to your doctor if he says okay. And then the other thing is this Gallium genus may create some allergies to some people. Let's say you are walking around it touches you and you already have a rash. Or I really suggest that you get 1 leaf or a couple of them, mash them, put it on right here in the most sensitive part of the skin. Really like make the pressure and then wait for like 48 hours to see if you give any reaction. If not, you can totally use it. But if you have a little bit of rash here, then don't consume it, because most of the time if you have allergy on the skin, you have allergy within. That's all for now. See you next time.